First thing this morning, we had an overnight sale to report, and it was of soybeans to Mexico. The amount 163,200 metric ton, and that got the day off to the start, but the trade was really focused on this the coronavirus issue. Let's go to the board right now and see where we're trading at here on the corn market. We started out the day with a weakness on the overnight trade, and that weakness has just continued to build. March corn down 6 1/4, December down 5 1/4. Over in the soybean market, March down 16, September down 14 1/4. Chicago wheat for March down 15 1/2 at 535 1/2. July down 16 3/4 at 535 1/4. The Kansas City wheat market down 13 1/2 at 455 for the March. The new crop in July down 13 1/4 at 469. Minneapolis wheat also on the lower side here today as well. It's down anywhere from 12 to 15 cents. Let's check in now with Todd Horwitz. He's with Bubba Trading, and he joins us now. Todd, I was reading some of your comments earlier, and you were talking about the this precipitous fall all the way across the board. Just a big sell-off today in all of these commodities.
This is a wholesale, as they say on the floor. I can't use the right word, but it's a wholesale getting out of everything. There's no asset class is safe right now except if it's gold or bonds. And right now, it doesn't matter. Anything that's not nailed down to the floor, they're going to try to sell. Now, again, there's not a real lot of panic, but the numbers are just accumulating bigger and bigger and bigger. And again, to me, I look at this as a really a pretty solid opportunity. You know, as you and I have talked about in the past, one nice flush out, which this I think is going to end up turning to be, would be an outstanding opportunity to really have these markets turn. And I think that's what I'm looking at this as, is just a great opportunity for the opportunity to turn around and become buyers somewhere. And I'm not saying to jump in today. I'm just saying that at some point here, I think this is exactly the kind of action that you would like to see, because I think that'll create some great buying opportunities. And I know if you own it, you're a farmer, you're a producer, you're kind of, you know, just go out and hide and don't watch it today, because again, it's not going to change. It's going to be, you know, fairly ugly, but at the end, I think it's going to work out the best for everybody.
The VIX index, I would guess, is probably pretty elevated today, isn't it, Todd?
It is up pretty solid. Now again, it's not total fear and panic, but it is up 7%. I mean, $7, which, if you look at the percentage, now percentage is a little misleading when you're down so low, but it's up about 40% today. But again, there is a little bit of fear here. But again, you're not seeing just a total breakdown where they're only running for the exits. There is some, you know, buyers trying to nibble, but really, in general, as I say, I think that this is more of an opportunity than it is a problem, because you're not going to force out here, because again, what you're really doing then is you're really just giving up into a market that's full of panic versus waiting, because one thing you always want to do anytime you're in a market like this is take a deep breath first and think about it, because, you know, where's my downside? Where's the return coming? And I think the returns are going to be much greater than any downside risk that's left, especially in the grain markets right here.
Okay. Well, that sell-off is through all of the commodities here today. We'll talk about the livestock in just a moment when we continue our conversation with Todd Horwitz with Bubba Trading. That's coming up next here on the Market Day Report. Back to Todd Horwitz with Bubba Trading. And Todd, I want to get started right here, first of all, talking about this protein complex. And you'll sell off, just like you and I were talking about coronavirus. What about the flush that you were talking about in the grains? Does that also apply here to the cattle and to the hogs as well?
Oh, I think 100%. Look, honestly, I turn long. I'm long hogs right now, and I'm not concerned. I'm potentially looking to buy more, but I'll see what happens here. And I'm also long the feeders. So, look, I think that this is just I really believe this comes out to being a buying opportunity when it's done. Now, again, it could get ugly in tomorrow. I think one of the big things we have to be concerned about is there'll probably be, if the markets continue to go lower today, there'll probably be some forced liquidation, all that's really going to do is create even a better buying opportunity, because there's something they call in markets as a V-shaped formation, and that's, if this continues, there's a better chance of that than they continue lower. You know, like, you can compare this kind of action in the protein complex to the Tyson virus, right? And what happened from there, we went down to 98 and we came straight back to 120. So again, look, it's not pleasant. It certainly doesn't feel good. But at the end of the bigger picture is there's a lot of reasons to believe we're going a lot higher. So you have to sometimes suffer through a period like this, and then when it turns, you'll be rewarded for it. Again, I go back to the same second grains. Don't panic here. Don't be forced to sell because you're going to put yourself in a much worse position. The risk-reward model from here favors not dumping. Again, that's what I always look for. I think there's going to be some opportunities coming in here, and I think they'll be rather sizable, and I think the rally, when it's all said and done, will be bigger than this sell-off that we're seeing right now.
Is this a perfect example of one of those black swan events that you were always talking about, Todd?
Well, I don't know if this is quite, I don't look at the coronavirus yet as a black swan. What I really believe, John, is that the actual equity markets were looking for a reason to sell. They're using this as their reason because they were a little fluffy. And when you get a 1,000-point sell-off in the markets, that will weigh into the protein complex and some of the other things, because really what happens, most people look for anything they can sell that might have any profit in whatsoever, and they want to hold on to the losing stuff, so they're going to dump it as fast as they can. I think that's what you saw here. Okay. And I think it will resolve itself out, and I think that's, again, I look at this more as an opportunity for me.
Okay, Todd, thanks a lot. Right now, April live cattle down the limit, 115.25 over in the feeder cattle market. Last half hour, we had a lot of these were limit lower, and we're still that way with April, May, August, September, all 450 lower. The lean hog complex, 233 lower for April and May, 215 lower for the June contract at 79.7.
Okay, thank you, John. Appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.